Billy Mayhew has finally uncovered the devastating truth that has been hiding in plain sight, and the revelation is uglier than anyone in Weatherfield could have imagined. For months, we have watched helplessly as Todd Grimshaw slowly disappeared under the suffocating grip of Theo Silverton. But the mask has finally slipped. A wedding that was supposed to be a celebration turned into a rescue mission when Billy cornered Todd in a bathroom and discovered the physical proof of a living nightmare. The bruises tell a story Todd is too terrified to admit, but the real twist lies in a recycle bin that changes absolutely everything. Before we dive deep into this heartbreaking unraveling and the massive interactive twist coming to the show, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a beat of the drama. The unraveling of this storyline has been one of the most difficult watches in recent Coronation Street history because it plays on a fear that feels all too real. We have seen Todd Grimshaw, a character known for his sharp tongue and scheming ways, be systematically broken down until he is a shell of his former self. What makes this so particularly chilling is the origin of it all. When Theo arrived on the cobbles, he was painted as a sympathetic figure. He was a survivor of horrific conversion therapy and a man carrying deep scars who was just learning to live openly. We wanted to root for him, and we wanted Todd to find happiness. That is exactly why the betrayal feels so sharp. The writers have done a terrifyingly good job of showing how abuse does not always look like a monster in the beginning. It often looks like someone who needs saving. For a long time, the abuse was psychological and emotional. It was the quiet kind of violence that is easy to miss if you are not looking closely. Theo concealed his rage from the outside world, but we saw the flashes. We saw the way he aggressively ordered Billy to stay away, and the way he worked relentlessly to erase Todd's history and his connections. It is classic coercive control. Like so many calculated abusers, Theo knew exactly when to pull back. Every time his control escalated into something that might push Todd away, he would worm his way back in. He offered promises of counseling and swore he would change. He used his own trauma as a shield to make Todd feel guilty for ever questioning him. It is a cycle that traps victims in a state of confusion and loyalty, and Todd has been drowning in it. The escalation we have seen recently has been horrifying. Theo has stripped away everything that makes Todd who he is. He humiliated him by pouring milk over him, which is such a degrading act designed to make Todd feel small. He engineered the situation that cost Todd his job, taking away his financial independence. He cut off his support network, leaving him with nobody to turn to. Then came the physical violence. The moment Theo slammed Todd's face into a mirror was the point of no return. It was a shocking display of brutality that proved Todd was in serious physical danger. But even then, Theo was one step ahead. The genius of this storyline lies in how Theo manipulated the aftermath. When Todd finally tried to defend himself and fitted cameras to expose the behavior, it backfired in the worst possible way. A confrontation led to Todd being arrested, and Theo twisted the narrative. He tampered with the footage to present himself as the victim. This is the ultimate weapon of the abuser. He took Todd's attempt at freedom and used it to crush his remaining confidence. Gareth Pierce, who plays Todd, explained this perfectly. He said the most heartbreaking thing is that the one moment Todd finally fights back, it only makes everything worse. He ends up more trapped than before. This brings us to the wedding of Debbie Webster, which served as the backdrop for the climatic discovery. Billy Mayhew has been the only one really sensing that something was wrong. He has been uneasy ever since the arrest incident, and he even sought advice from Alia Nazir. But nothing could prepare him for what happened at the hotel. We saw Todd trying to escape before the wedding. He had a plan, but Theo's emotional grip is like a vice. A single tearful voicemail was all it took to stop Todd from fleeing. To make matters worse, Theo stole Todd's passport, effectively taking away his physical ability to leave the country. At the reception, the tension was palpable. Theo reverted to his controlling ways almost immediately. There was a subtle but terrifying moment involving champagne. Theo warned Todd off the alcohol, pointedly referencing what he gets like when he drinks. It was a threat disguised as care. Todd was so intimidated he swapped his glass for orange juice. It was a small moment, but it spoke volumes about the fear Todd lives in every single second. Then came the accident. James collided with Todd and spilled the drink. In a normal relationship, this would be a minor annoyance. With Theo, it was a catastrophe. He exploded with anger and bitterly remarked that it had to be James of all people. Todd immediately blamed himself. He apologized for something that was clearly an accident. Billy overheard this self-blame, and that was the red flag that led him to follow Todd to the bathrooms. The scene in the bathroom was incredibly tense. Todd was trying to wash his shirt, hiding in a cubicle, when Billy entered. He thought the coast was clear, and stepped out only to realize Billy was still there. That was the moment. Billy saw the bruises and welts covering Todd's torso. It was undeniable proof. The lies could not cover up the physical marks on his skin. Todd panicked. He went into immediate denial, insisting the injuries were his own fault and claiming he could prove it. This reaction is so typical of abuse victims who have been gaslit into believing they are the problem. Back in the hotel room, the tragedy deepened. Todd showed Billy the webcam footage, desperately trying to convince Billy that he was the aggressor. But Billy is smart. He noticed the videos had been edited. The jumps in the footage did not add up. Todd was too overwhelmed to handle the scrutiny and fled the room, leaving Billy alone with the computer. This is where the detective work paid off. Billy dug deeper and found the original, unaltered files sitting in the recycle bin. Watching Billy watch the real footage was a pivotal moment. He saw the brutal reality of Theo's abuse, without the edits and without the manipulation. He saw the unprovoked rage and the calculated cruelty. When Todd returned, Billy was devastated. He tried to break through the wall Theo had built in Todd's mind. He told him he was being gaslit. He reminded Todd that he only lashed out in self-defense. But Todd is broken. His response was just 3 words that broke hearts everywhere. He loves me. Billy tried to tell him that this is not love. He pleaded with him to listen and reassured him that nobody deserves this treatment. The question now is whether Billy can actually save him. We know that leaving an abusive partner is the most dangerous time for a victim. With the explosive Coryale events approaching, we have to wonder if things will spiral even further before there is any hope of recovery. The stakes have never been higher, and the danger is very real. Speaking of Coryale, the show is about to do something completely unprecedented that puts the power directly in our hands. Just as the tension in the Todd and Theo storyline reaches a fever pitch, the show is introducing a massive interactive twist for the crossover with Emmerdale. It adds a whole new layer of anticipation to the episodes. Executive producer Ian McLeod has confirmed that the audience will be fully in control of the outcome of the crossover episode. Fans are going to decide which 2 characters will share scenes in the final broadcast. This is not a pre-recorded gimmick where the choice does not matter. The final pairing is being chosen entirely through a public vote that runs right up until transmission. The concept started last year when producers asked fans for their dream pairings between Coronation Street and Emmerdale characters. They narrowed it down to 4 standout combinations. The amazing thing is that every single one of these pairings has been scripted, rehearsed, and filmed. They are all in the can and ready to go. The narrative has been designed so that there is a specific juncture in the episode where the winning scene can be dropped in smoothly without disrupting the flow of the story. Ian McLeod admitted that this is a bit nerve-wracking for him personally. He revealed that he will be in the transmission gallery on the night, literally waiting to shout, "Run that version," based on the live vote results. The voting window stays open until just 15 minutes before the show starts. That gives the event a sense of urgency and unpredictability that we rarely get in soap operas. It is live television energy in a pre-recorded drama. Let us look at the 4 options, because they are all fascinating in different ways. First, we have the potential meeting of Roy Cropper and Nicola King. This promises a meeting of sharp minds and business savvy. Imagine the conversation between those 2. It would be intellectual and dry, and probably quietly hilarious. Then we have a comedy pairing, Kirk Sutherland and Sam Dingle. Actor James Hooton joked that this is the meeting of 2 brain cells. If you want light relief amidst the heavy drama, This is the one to vote for. For those who want fireworks, there is the option of Carla Connor and Charity Dingle. This is the one that has social media buzzing. Two strong, feisty women who take no nonsense. Ian McLeod hinted that this pairing would cause plenty of chatter and speculation if it wins. It feels like a clash of the titans. Finally, there is Ross Barton and Tracy Barlow. This duo was described as particularly charged. McLeod said they really sizzle together. They are shamelessly flirtatious and walk that fine line between hostility and attraction. That dynamic always makes for compelling television. The good news is that even though only one scene will make the broadcast cut, the others will not be lost forever. The producers have reassured fans that the remaining 3 clips will likely be released online later, so we will eventually get to see all the work the actors put in. But only one will be part of the official canon history of the show. It is a brilliant way to engage the audience. We spend so much time shouting at the screen, telling characters what to do or wishing certain characters would meet. Now we actually get to make it happen. It contrasts so sharply with the feeling of helplessness we have watching Todd's storyline. With Todd, we are desperate to intervene, but can't. With the crossover, we are being handed the controls. The juxtaposition of these two major events is what makes this era of the show so gripping. On one hand, we have a deeply serious, socially relevant storyline about domestic abuse within a same-sex relationship which is being handled with care and intensity. On the other hand, we have a fun, innovative audience participation event that celebrates the history of 2 massive soaps. It shows the range of the genre. As we look ahead, the concern for Todd remains the priority. Billy discovering the truth is a massive step, but discovery is not the same as rescue. Theo is dangerous, and he is manipulative. He has shown he is willing to use physical violence, and he is willing to destroy Todd's reputation to save his own skin. Now that Billy knows the truth, Theo is cornered. A cornered abuser is often unpredictable. Will he try to turn the tables on Billy? Will he try to take Todd away from Weatherfield entirely? The stolen passport suggests he already plans to control Todd's movements completely. The performance by the cast deserves recognition here. Gareth Pearce has conveyed the crumbling of Todd's spirit with subtle brilliance. The change in his body language, the flinching and the constant need to apologize is heartbreakingly accurate. And seeing Billy step up as the protector and the detective gives us a hero to root for in this mess. We are entering a critical phase. The truth is out in the open for at least one person. The video evidence exists, but as long as Todd believes that Theo's control is love, the cycle is hard to break. We have to hope that Billy can get through to him, or that the evidence in that recycle bin is enough to get the authorities involved before it is too late. Make sure you are tuned in for the crossover vote, and make sure you're watching closely as Billy tries to save Todd. It is going to be an emotional roller coaster. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who are you voting for in the crossover? And do you think Billy can save Todd before Theo does something even worse? We read every comment and love hearing your theories.